What is going on, Huckberry family? It's Joe Yoon, author of Better Stretching and massage therapist and trainer. And today I'm going to show you 3 of what I think are the essential stretches every guy should be doing. So if you've been sitting at the desk for long periods of time, or maybe you went on that long weekend hike, this is gonna get you moving better so you can start feeling better. So let's get it started. So let's get it started with the T-spine extension on a bench. So it's gonna be working that mid-back. And if that mid-back gets stiff, then things like your neck could start bothering you, your low back. So if you've been sitting at the computer all day getting work done, you probably start feeling those things pop up, right? So what we're going to do is do a T-spine extension on the bench. I'm using a bench. If you're at home and don't have access to one, you can use something like the couch or a coffee table, pretty much anything this height. And I also prefer to use something like a PVC pipe to hold on to. But again, if you don't have one of these, you can use a broomstick. You can just pretend you're holding onto something. That works too. So to get set up, knees are under the hips, and then we're going to place our elbows onto the bench just like this. And then from here, all we're going to do is drive our hips back, drop our chest to the floor, and then bicep curl. Now we're getting some great extension in that mid back, and then also getting a great stretch on our lats and our triceps. Really good mobility exercise. So again, it's gonna look like this. Drop your hips back, bicep curl. 10 reps is perfect for this, and it's gonna start helping to reverse some of the effects from hunching over all the time. And now let's go into movement number 2. Now let's get into movement number 2, and this is gonna be one of my favorites. It's the 90-90, and it's perfect to keep your hips nice and mobile. If you have issues with your hips, feeling tight, it can start affecting things like your knees and your low back. So it's very important to keep these in check. So to get set up, we're going to bring our front leg in front of us. Bend the knee so it's about 90 degrees, and then our back leg, same thing, knee bent about 90 degrees. So 90-90, that's where the name comes from. If you're on a mat, a good way to check if you're in a good position is your shin lined up with the front part of the mat, and then is your back shin lined up with the side of the mat. So once you get into this position, and this actually could be pretty tough for a lot of people who especially have tight hips. So if you feel like you're going to fall over, a good tip you can try is place a pad underneath that front leg's hip right here. So this is going to prop you up, and it's just going to make this a little bit more tolerable until you get a little bit more mobile, and then this will be a piece of cake. You can also just place your hands behind you or on the floor for a little support if you struggle with staying upright. And then from here, stay nice and tall, chest out, good posture, and then just shift forward and lean over. We're going to get a great stretch, a nice deep stretch in this front hip. We can hold this for 15, 20, 30 seconds here. And then I like to bring my arms up and rotate towards this back leg, working our hip internal rotation back here. A lot of people limited in this position, so this might be a little bit more difficult. So you can place your hands behind the back if that's a little bit easier for you. But this is one of my favorites for the hips. Do both sides. And now let's go into the last movement. And the third and final movement we're gonna hit up is the world's greatest stretch. Works the lower body, works the upper body, gets our body moving in different directions. It is a great all-around stretch. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna break it down into 3 different steps because it's actually a combination of movements, but it's gonna hit the front side of the body, the back, and a little bit of rotation too. So step 1 is we're going to take a big step out and lunge down and place your opposite hand on the floor just like this. From here, bring your inside elbow down towards the floor. We should feel a good stretch on our front hip over on this side, and then maybe a good stretch over in the glutes on this side. And then this is step 1. Step 2 is rotating up towards the sky. Keep that lower body steady and rotate that upper body. Now we're getting some good mid-back rotation, loosening up that back. And then step 3 is bringing the other hand to the outside of the leg, bring this hand on the inside of the leg, and then push your hip up towards the sky, getting a good stretch on the hamstring, and then standing up. I'll show it to you from the side. So we're gonna take a big step out, opposite arm on the floor, inside elbow down towards the ground, rotate up towards the sky, just like this. As you reset, bring one hand to the outside of the leg, the inside hand on the inside part of the leg, push that hip up, and then that is it. And that is the world's greatest stretch. Make sure you do both sides. I like to do about 5 to 10 reps on each side. And that is it, Huckberry fam. Hopefully you picked up some of these stretches and they're new to you, and make sure you do them at home. You know, every day is pretty good too. It's gonna help maintain good mobility, make you start feeling good, decrease the tension. It's just great to do. So I will catch you guys next time, and thanks for watching.